One of the world's most famous couples is calling it quits. Have you heard? Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie got married in 2014 after years together. Remember this cover from People magazine? Well, now the Oscar-winning actress has filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. They have a total of 6 kids. In a statement to CNN, Brad Pitt said this, quote, "I am very saddened by this, but what matters most now is the well-being of our kids." With me now, J.D. Heyman, deputy editor of People magazine, and Randy Kessler, celebrity divorce lawyer and family law attorney. He is also the author of Divorce: Protect Yourself, Your Kids, and Your Future. He also represented clients in celebrity divorce cases, including the ex-wife of Usher. All right, so nice to have both of you on.
Thank you.
JD, let me just begin with you because I know this is just one of those things, one of those Hollywood couples. Not a lot of people saw this coming. What the heck happened?
Yep. Well, listen, I mean, that's the big question, right? They were together not just for the 2 years of their marriage, but really for 12 years, and they have 6 children. And it's a bit of a shock. Those who know them know how devoted they are to their family. And, you know, while they are not like typical married people because they're movie stars, it takes a lot to break up a marriage and a family like this. Very sad day, and a lot of questions being asked. I'll let your legal expert talk about the filing and how that happened and if there are any questions there. But surely a lot of people are wondering why now, why so quickly, and certainly a lot of people scratching their heads as whether this was very sudden.
So on the legal piece, Randy, you know, again, 6 kids. She wants sole physical custody. I believe that also, you know, would allow for, you know, visitations. But can you walk us through how complicated that is in achieving?
Yes, and you know, there's no rhyme or reason to what we do. You see everything across the board. So they could file because she was going to be in town and had time to deal with it. She could have filed because he said something that irritated her. But what I think is that she's got a really good lawyer. Laura Wasser's a good lawyer, and I'm sure she tried to reach out to Brad Pitt and his lawyers and said, let's work this out. Obviously, they couldn't reach an agreement beforehand. They have more to lose by a big public nasty to divorce than the court's going to do with their money. So they obviously disagree about the kids. I don't think she's going to keep the kids from him just because she says she wants primary custody or physical custody. That's good. That's a starting point. But she's not saying he should be supervised. She's not said out loud in public that he should be, you know, limited in his time or supervised because of some bad conduct. So we'll see how it unfolds. But it's going to solve itself. I don't think we're going to see a trial.
You don't?
Oh, I wouldn't think so. I mean, these are 2 grown-up people who are devoted to these kids, and I think they both made it clear, certainly in the first few hours of this, that they're going to put them first. And as you say, it's not really clear as to, you know, when you check a box on a form, what you're really trying to do here is just make it clear that they're going to share custody of these children, and whether or not, whether domiciled or not, or their various schedules, and you know, these are people who move all over the world, and you know, it can be all kinds of reasons for that. But they're certainly making the signal that, you know, they're going to be civilized about this for sure.
She's quoted in a Vogue article from last year just talking about, you know, the importance of family. Quote, "I'm happy to be home. I want to really focus on my children, doing the best I can to guide and protect them before they're out of the house. These are their most important years." JD, you know, we all remember, of course, his famous marriage before to Jennifer Aniston. The internet is the internet. The memes have already begun. Remind me, how did Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt meet?
Well, of course, famously, they met at work, and there was a lot of tabloid coverage of the fact that they met while making Mr. and Mrs. Smith together, and certainly the public at large has a perception of how that drama played out. I think that all the people involved with that are grown-ups and they've moved on, but you know, of course, if you're a public figure, you want to be conscious of how these things play out and how people perceive it. So, you know, one assumes that, you know, before they took any moves about separating, they wanted to make sure they weren't repeating some kind of story that gets churned over and over again. I think that was probably some awareness of that, and then of course the main awareness is to make sure your children are okay. So I think that's really what's driving this. But you know, I'm sure that, you know, anyone can relate. If you have a family, if you have children, if you're married, splitting up a marriage is really difficult in ordinary circumstances, and these aren't ordinary people. So there was a lot of thought put into this.
We wish them well and peace and privacy. JD and Randy, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you. Today.